Hey guys, welcome back. My name's Stu and this is Tidal Rocks for Rollercoaster Tycoon Classic, part 21 of the Bugfix Scenario Pack. Build a theme park on this group of rocks in the sea. Your objective, to have at least 1,800 guests in your park at the end of October, year 3, with a park rating of at least 600. So as it says then, we've got rocks in the middle of the sea. There's loads of trees, so that's going to be fairly annoying, toggling the scenery on and off, and the rocks are quite jagged as well, so that's going to make building on them quite tricky. Now, if you remember back when I did the tutorial video on how to install this scenario pack, there were two versions of this scenario in there. I wasn't sure why at the time. I think one of them was a mistake. Now, the one that installed onto the expert section of the game, there's a big bug in it. Well, two big bugs actually. So the first one was that guests don't spawn, so I fixed that. And then the second one, there was some sort of an issue with the path by here, so guests that did spawn couldn't connect it. Then I remember that there was the other version which installed into the other section, and that one's fine. So that's the one I'm going to be playing, is the one that's found in the other section. Okay, so let's have a look what we've got then. We've got some transport rides. We've got decent selection of gentle rides, decent selection of coasters, some thrill rides. We've got some water rides, handy obviously because of the water, and good selection of shops. I think what I'm going to do for this one is, because building on top of these rocks is going to be such a pain, especially with the obscured view and the scenery toggling that on and off. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete all the paths back to the start, and then I'm going to tunnel down, and I'm going to do like a boardwalk style park on the water, and then maybe use the rocks to build coasters on top of. So because I've got tons of most things, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my research into thrill rides to begin with, because I'm going to need a lot of flat rides to bring the guests in. Let's have a look. We're charging for admission, so what I'll do is, once we've got a decent amount of rides down, that's when I'm going to open the park with a decent admission fee, maybe 40, maybe 50. I'm not going to let them in yet, because I don't want them paying £10 or whatever to come in, because that's just going to minimize my profits later on. April year 1, so I've got a ton of flat rides down. I'm going to open the park up now. We've got it set to 40. I've got no idea how it's going to work, so someone's just come in. What I've done as well is I've built some little escape routes as well, because what I don't want to happen is, I've got the path, the main path coming down here. But obviously when the guests coming around to this side or to the other side, if they want to leave, they're not going to have, they might want to try and go back in a straight line. So what I've done is I've built these little escape routes up to the start, one going up that side. I've got no entry signs, stop them coming down. I might have to change that later, I don't know. And one again this side. So I've got no idea how this is going to work out. It's very expensive building on the water. So, but I'm hoping it'll work out easier than having to faff about with the toggling the scenery on and off and all the rest of it. So let's just crack on and see what happens. October year 1, almost 750 guests in the park. We need 1,800. Building on the water has been very expensive, but we're starting to get the rewards now. And when it rains as well, because we've got £20 umbrellas, we're starting to get some good profits there as well. As you can see, the view is a bit obscured because of the rocks. That's one of the reasons why I've decided to build down onto the water. Our first coaster here is very simple shuttle, inverted vertical shuttle, decent stats, poison dart, poison dart frog, something you might find in a jungle. And then just over here then, another simple design, junior coaster. It was a bit tricky, to be honest, building on top of the rocks because of the supports. Because the supports on this will only go up so far, so you have to make sure that you're building it on the rock. So it's not a great design. I've got it set to 2 laps just to give them a bit more excitement. And one thing I do want to do on this level is I do want to keep people in queues a little bit longer than what I normally would, because I am worried about overcrowding on the boardwalk just down there. It seems to be working pretty well so far, but we've still got a long way to go. April year 2, and we've got a water coaster just over here, Splashdown. Main problem with this is the low capacity, but again, I did want to keep guests in the queues to prevent overcrowding on the path. At the moment, we've only got 800 guests, so it's not a huge problem. As we get more guests into the park, we are going to get more people queuing for the ride. So I might have to keep an eye on this one. And then just here then, we've got an impulse coaster, canopy crusher. Decent stats on that. So I've got that just over the water, next to the large splash section of the water coaster. It weaves in and out of the rocks, and then before coming down and splashing. Cool. So I've been researching roller coasters the last few months. I think we're pretty much done for thrill rides. There's some that I haven't been able to build just yet because of the supports, and some that I will build, just not quite yet. Money wise, it's not great, but we just need to start building some rides. Building on top of the rocks is a bit slow going, but we've got plenty of time. Almost 2 years, so we should be fine. October year 2, 1,300 guests in the park. We've got the green arrow, so the guest number is going up nicely. Got a go-kart track just down there. I'm researching shops now, so I've been putting a load of the merchandise stalls down, some on the exits, just like there. You've got the t-shirt stalls and the balloons as well. Got a top spin that we've added. I've taken away the no entry signs on the escape routes. So I built these in order that guests come in here could get back to the exit if they wanted. Problem was, guests up here were getting stuck because they wanted to go to the rides here and over here. And they were trying to go in a straight line and they couldn't. So I've got rid of that, and that seems to have solved that problem. Just over here then, we were getting an issue with overcrowding. So I've built a large splash boats. So we've got the exit station just down here with all the merchandise stalls. So getting some good money off them. The lift comes all the way up then to the entrance platform. And then we've got a few dips and bends and things just to make it a longer ride and enable more boats. So on this one, it's not quite maximum. Mount Splash-tastic, 29 boats. And then the long drop then down here. So this one, let's have a look. What have we got? We've got 124 guests on it. Another 52 in the queue. So it's about 200 guests on this. It's nowhere near busy. Most of there's a full boat there. Some of the boats are almost empty going out. Some of them go out empty. I have stopped it going if another boat leaves, but it does have a maximum waiting time. Yeah, so this one, if the park gets a lot busier, this will help. What have we got here? Just over here, we've got a large space that I can start putting some coasters in. We are going to need to get another 500 guests. So I am a bit mindful of that. I mean, it's going up now, but eventually it is going to slow down. So I've got space here for some coasters, maybe utilize these rocks here for some extra height. Yeah, another year, we should be fine. April year 3, 1,450 guests in the park. Got the green arrow back. We've got the Virginia reel just here. Tidal tubs. Utilizing this rock over here. Nice underground section inside. And then just over here, then we've got another couple of coasters. We've got a Heartline coaster just here. Whoa, there's a problem with this. Yeah, there's a bit of a slow section. I might have to rejig that slightly. And then we've got a stand-up coaster here. Inside the rock, we've got a Cobra roll. So I've got space for another coaster or two here. Maybe something over this side as well. I'm thinking of doing something big and stupid on these rocks over here. And then see how we doing. I don't want to get too many guests. 1,800 and something would be fine. I only need 1,800, so I don't want to go crazy and risk overcrowding, but I do need to get that 1,800. So we'll just have to see how it plays out. October year 3, we need 1,800 guests in the park. We've got 1,850, so we're going to pass it. So I've gone for a ridiculously large wooden coaster. Comes up through the rocks up here. And then we got a little drop, little break section there with a block break in it. Another drop down, back up, around. Another little break section with a mid-course brake run there. And then it comes around, and we've got a couple of loops, some loop interactions, and then back to the station. Again, another little brake run with a block brake there. The block brakes work quite well. The timing seems to be fine on them. Let's hope this one doesn't prove me wrong. Yeah, there you go, straight through. And then just over here then, because we were still a little bit short with a month or so to go. Where are they? It's such awkward with these rocks. We've got a couple of my loops designs. So jungle loops. One of my favorite designs. People who've been watching the videos from the very start will have seen these so many times, but I haven't used them for ages on a looping coaster. So what are we up to now? Halfway through October. So when we came in then, there was some, I don't know what, right, there's the start, right? When we came in then, there were paths leading off to the other rocks. We brought that back, brought a path down to here, to the water level, and I can't see it. Right, let's do it from this angle. Come down to this level, and then started building like a boardwalk. Once we had a few rides down, we were researching thrill rides to begin with. Put the entry fee up to 40. Opened the park. Guests started coming in, and then we started building the coasters. Simple designs at first. The shuttle there and the junior coaster, and then going off to something more complicated and bigger later on with the water coaster and the splash boats in order to soak up the guests and things like that. So all in all, it's worked quite well. There's a lot of sick everywhere, but the last few months, what I've done is I've just chucked a load of staff down, because we've got tons of cash. So just chucked and we're not building any more rides. So I've just chucked a load of staff down. So we're doing fine. Haven't had that many staff in the park, to be honest, for the most part. When guests are complaining, maybe I'll hire another one or two. But other than that, we've had pretty much a skeleton crew. At each side of the main rock, we've got an escape route. So we've got the path leading up to here, and then another path leading down this side to here. Originally, I had them with a no entry sign to stop guests coming down. I only wanted them to go up, but then later on, then we had an issue where guests were getting stuck near the entrance because they wanted to come down this way, but they couldn't. So I've opened that up and that solved that problem. With the exception of litter, haven't really had any problems with guests complaining. Just turn the guests off now in order to see the paths, and they're all pretty much fine. There's the odd bit of sick here and there, but earlier it was covered, especially this stand-up ride just over here, the entrance. I think one of the only places I've got someone zoned is on that exit there. Okay, so this is the last in the Bugfix Scenario Pack. There is one that I've skipped, the sort of post-apocalyptic scenario. There was just too many issues with that scenario that I couldn't fix. Most of them have worked fine. Some of them have had the odd issue that I've been able to sort out, and where I have done that, I've uploaded a fix file, and it'll be linked below the videos on that scenario. After this one, I think I'm going to take a little break from RCT for a little bit. I'm still going to be doing it. I'm going to look for another scenario pack, but what I want to do is I want to just take a little break and maybe try some other videos, try some other games, maybe do some random mobile games as well. So I will be doing more RCT videos. I just feel like I need a break from it at the moment. Recharge my batteries, get the hunger back, that sort of thing. It's Halloween. We've passed the scenario. Stew! Awesome sauce. On the whole, not a bad scenario pack. This one isn't pretty good. I would have preferred more coaster challenge scenarios, but other than that, it's been fine. So if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. I am Stu. I'll see you soon. Bye.